And we're back. And the thing that I'm going to talk about is actually something which is pretty relevant to the fact that it's 3 a.m. right now, and I'm going to be heading to bed soon, right after I finish this. And what that is experiences with sleep paralysis. I'm not sure if anyone else has ever had this. If you have, it is a huge pain in the ass. Uh, Basically, what it is it's a really vivid dream that I'm not getting any sound, so I'm going to pause a sec, and I will figure that out, and I will be right back. So what it is it's a really vivid dream, and it's usually would be considered like a nightmare, unfortunately, which is why I'm not even sure why I chose 3 a.m. as the best time to discuss it, because I'm going to be heading to bed soon, and I really hope it doesn't happen, because it's a really vivid dream, and the way it always starts is you feel as if you just woke up, but you're completely paralyzed, and you can't move anything, because it's still completely a dream, but you aren't aware of it. Everything from your perspective seems real, and it basically just plays off the subconscious like any other dream, but it can be really frightening. Like, my first experience with it was after I was watching an episode of Doctor Who. It was the one with the stone angels, if you're familiar with the show. But what it was when it happened to me, it felt like I woke up in my bed, middle of the night, and like at first I thought nothing unusual was going on at all. I thought, okay, well, I'm just lying here in bed. I didn't even try to move at this point, so I had no idea that it was sleep paralysis, because I had no idea that I wasn't able to move. And I immediately, or not immediately, but I saw this figure come into my room, and it was not white, it was sort of a really light gray, but the way it moved was, it didn't appear to, it appeared about same height as me, so about 6'2". It came into my room, and the way it moved was as if it was just like appearing and disappearing really quickly, and it would just sort of move a couple inches at a time along the foot of my bed. And I'm actually getting goosebumps as I'm saying this, just remembering it. It moved a couple inches at a time just along the foot of my bed, and it was facing straight ahead, so I saw it completely in profile. I didn't see what it was as if it was like staring straight ahead, and I was looking at it from the side, but it was slowly moving along the foot of my bed, and then when it reached the foot of my bed, it turned to face me, or when it reached the corner of my bed, it turned to face me, and at this point it started moving much faster, and I could make out that its face and like the details on it, and it looked like it had a human face, but the eyes seemed empty. Oh shit, don't go down there. The eyes seemed really empty, not as if they were just like pitch black, but like there were eyes, they just didn't seem to be looking at anything. They were just always staring straight ahead, and I just happened to be in front of it. And as it moved really closely up to the side of my bed, it got up to the point where it was level with where my head was, and this was the point where I started to try and move, because absolutely scared beyond anything. But it reached the point where it was even with my head, and at that point its eyes went from looking sort of empty to having focus, and they were focused on me, which scared me even more. And I started trying desperately to move, but I couldn't. And at this point, it started to lean in closer and closer, and as it did, its mouth started to open, and it wasn't to the extreme point like the mask of the Scream character from those movies, but it was about halfway to that point, and it had just nothing but like pointed teeth, and it started to reach in, and as it was about half a foot away from my face, I woke up, and when I woke up, it was on my right side. When I woke up, I was already starting to roll over to my right side, and my left hand was in a fist, and I swear, it was the hardest punch that I've ever thrown, and I was throwing it straight for where this thing's face was, but since it was just sleep paralysis, it obviously wasn't there. It was just an extremely bad dream. And I ended up punching my nightstand just full force, and I swear, like I think I nearly broke my hand, because for about 2 weeks after that, I had bruises across 3 of my fingers and on 2 of my knuckles, and it just hurt beyond anything to even try and move my hand. It was just completely numb. But since it was my left hand, it never really interfered with anything, if you know what I mean. But since then, it actually has happened once after that. But when that happened, I was still terrified, but I didn't try and throw a punch at it. Like I was trying to tell myself, like, you're dreaming. Don't react, and you'll wake up fine. And I woke up fine, but I woke up just drenched in sweat, and this was like really, really early spring, like very last weeks of February or very first weeks of March, and this is in Canada, so the heater wasn't on to the point that it would normally be during the winter, or